Hey everybody, GL1 here and welcome to my online toy museum. And today I'm going to talk about and review the new Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron AT-AT Walker. And the first thing is it has a pretty nice packaging. Got this for half price. And the packaging was a little crushed, so that might have something to do with it. And it comes with 5 people and a speeder and your AT-AT walker. And that is right here on the ground. And I'm going to compare that to, I think, the most analogous AT-AT walker to it is the 1995 AT-AT walker, and going to compare the features and similarities between the two. So here's our new little guy here. All right, so nicely sculpted model, and it says it features fully articulated legs. So there you go, you got your nice click joints. I wish it had a little bit of lateral motion, because if you'll notice in the movie, the AT-AT actually can kind of widen its legs to balance, and this doesn't do that. So when you say full articulation, I think it really should do that. That would be the full articulation. Also, you don't get, the feet don't move laterally also. So this is rather expensive. This is like $60, $70 normally, and to me that's a lot of money for just a little piece of plastic here that does some lights and sounds, and doesn't really have the full articulation. But let's talk about the good things. So you got your little people that go in there. You have your pilot, you have your commander there, and then it opens up, and you got quite a nice opening there. You have your little speeder bike, and you can fit 4 of them on there, so presumably you can get a set where you can get more speeder bikes. It'd be nice if, it came with more speeder bikes. But all right, gives you something to look forward to. And then you have a little stand that you can put your speeder bike on. And you have your grappling hook. Okay, so you can spool up. I guess you can pull up your speeder bike. And then you have your Luke Skywalker hook, right, where he shoots that up into it, and then this is the little half moon that you can hook onto your Luke figure, and he can pull himself up. All right, so, and I guess, let's see, does that hook on? I guess you just hook that on wherever you can under there. All right, so you have nice seating area in here for stormtroopers, and I put Luke there. All right, there he is with his blue lightsaber. And then you have, your little computer bank room back in there. And it doesn't shoot any missiles, but I'm going to show you how it lights up and the sounds it makes. So you push this button to activate it. And that makes the walking noise. And you can see that the dashboard lights up red. And get the white light in there. And then once that's activated, you can push this button.
Full troops will debark for ground assault.
Sound familiar? Make some sounds. These light up. A bit of fiber optic plastic.
Full troops will debark for ground assault. Prepare to target the main generator. Target maximum fire.
Now this lights up a little bit, but it doesn't have any pictures on it. And you're going to see in the 1995 version where that is different. It'd be good if it had different buttons to make different sounds when you want.
Target maximum firepower. Prepare to target the main generator.
So
Full troops will debark for ground assault.
I got this for $35.99, and even to me that is, well, that's a fair price, but I really think it should be $30. I think $29.99 would have been more of a fair price for the features that this thing offers. It is cool, the extra room and the little people you can put in there and the speeder bike and all that, and it's, well sculpted and things like that. But, it's Disney's really gotten out of hand when it comes to the pricing of the toys. Oh, well, that's a new noise. All right, that just happened. I haven't heard that one. Let's see, because I haven't been able to get it to make a whole lot of different sounds, and I don't know how that happened. Oh, well, that's the sound of it shutting off. Okay, so you'd have to push this button again and then push that to activate it. All right, now let's go back in time to 1995 and see what we got there. All right. All right, so here we go. This runs on 3 AAA batteries. Now, this is almost 30 years old, so buttons are a little bit difficult to push and some of the other things. But it also, by the same definition of the new one, is full articulation. So the legs, they bend and they click and they can move in all the same positions. All right. You do have a grappling hook thing that snaps up, so it doesn't come off. It stays in place. And then there's your little hook, I guess, and it rotates. There it is. This is Luke's little gun. You can hang on to that, and you can compare that to the new one. Let's see. No, it really doesn't have that. It's just a hook, right? So this has a little gun that he grabs onto, and it's like he grappling hook gun, shoots that up, and then you pull the other side, and then Luke, gets up there and lasers it underneath and throws a bomb in there. All right. I put some glow-in-the-dark paint on it many years ago because I like glow-in-the-dark paint, and I was just playing with it. All right, so you can take your Stormtroopers. This is an original, like 1977 Stormtrooper. How do you know that? Well, because you see it's old looking. It barely has any articulation. And you see how the knees are different? So that's how the old one was. It had 2 different knees. And I always thought it was when I was a kid, I thought it was a mistake that they didn't mean, it's just like, they just took whatever leg was laying around and put that on. But no, that's how he was. So I have some newer ones here. Beefy, muscular Stormtrooper. And then Leader Stormtrooper from one of the newer movies. Cool looking gun there, right? Laser gun. And then another Stormtrooper. Right, I don't remember what that comes from, but what's cool about him is got a little bit the head articulation, can move around and lateral shoulders and waist twists, so he's pretty neat. All right, here we go. Watch the adventure of what happens.
All troops will debark for ground assault. Distance to power generators 17.28.
See how it lights up there? That's the power generators.
Target maximum firepower.
Now that's the real voice from the movie. And there's Lord Vader.
Yes, Lord Vader. I've reached the main power generators. The shield will be down in moments. You may start your landing.
Why didn't they put that on the new one? That's so cool.
All troops will debark for ground assault. Distance to power generators 17.28.
Okay, so you have a separate button for those sounds. Then you have firing sound. This button's getting a little tough to push down. And get it. And then the walking button. So that's cool. At least you have a walking button. And it goes on for a while, which is really great. All right. Now, the front of this is really cool. So here's your commander again, sitting side by side. It's pretty, it's different than the other one. I like the other one in that you have like a nice big area, right? He can stand there. It's really like a nice cockpit. And, you can get 3 figures in there. So, all right. This one actually has rockets that you can put in here, and it will shoot. One of these I had to glue on. I think it might be this guy here. See, I have the rubber band around it. These things would often break off. And but it still shoots, and I still have the missiles. I just put them somewhere where I won't lose them. I like the way the head has that kind of lazy sort of look, like, AT-AT always had like, ooh, looking down. And there was a sticker here and it came off, so I painted it. But all right, I'm going to show you this one really cool thing this does. Another really cool thing this does, actually. And again, things are getting older, so it's a little bit hard to actuate. But I'm going to have to put this in the camera stand here. Now, I wouldn't have expected this on the small one, but I would have expected part of it, and I'll show you what. All right, so on this, you have a lever here, and you can move this back and forth and and they fire. And they light up. Can you see that light up? It's a little dim. There's a little light, red light. And again, because things are getting old, I have a little trouble moving. Oh, looks like that got stuck on me there. There. All right, so that's how that fires back and forth. So that's really cool, plus the firing missiles. So Mrs. G01 got this for me in '95, and I've always loved that because it looks like a dog. I just thought it was so cool. In fact, I remember when I was in 7th grade, I made a paper mache AT-AT, a little bit bigger than this, and I thought it would be cool to put firecrackers in it and blow it up. And I had buyer's remorse right after I did that. I really wish I didn't. That was dumb. It was so cool to have that. So here, you got your clip joint legs. Look at how these move around. See? So it's really even more articulated than the new one. And you got nice, neck articulation. Now, what's cool on the new one is it's actually rubber. So it clicks and you have little rubber in there. So that's cool too, and it could stay in place. That's great, right? You can aim it and stay in place. But it would be neat if they had these just to be able to shift them back and forth, to get that look, be able to shift, these back and forth. That would be cool. These don't move either. So if you could move them up and down. Again, these would be simple fixes. And if you're paying $60, $70 for this, it should. I really think so. Now, this is cool. I like the fact that they put the hydraulics in there, to move the feet. That's pretty cool. At least a cool visual. It doesn't really move or anything. And your batteries go underneath here. There's your screws for that, and then that comes off. And you put 3 AAA batteries in there. And the big one takes 3 AA's. So all right, so that's the comparison between the two. If you can get this thing as a discount, I definitely say, all right, at a discount if you really love the AT-AT walker. I have some other AT-AT walkers, and I'll be showing you those as well. But I just wanted to do this on this guy, the one that's closest to it, the 1995, and then our new one, 2023. But 28 years later, everything's gotten smaller and more expensive. Because I think this was like $50 back then. Of course, $50 was more money, 28 years ago. Okay, so before I go, I want to talk a little bit more about some of the smaller details. All right, so here's our commander, and I'm going to show you that up close. All right, and we can see that commander next to the larger scale, the original Star Wars commander. All right, so they both have their ice glare, sun glare goggles on their head there. So how the sun glares off the snow. And they have, like the blue, like the command insignia on the left shoulder there. And the black gloves, black boots. So very similar, right? They did a good job on paint something so small. Let's see, it has a little design on the belt on this one. No design on the tiny one. Okay, well that would be really something to get it that small. But, all right, and it has a little backpack thing on the back. Yep, just like the original. So it has a gun holster. Let's see, does this have a gun holster? Yep, it even has the gun holster, look. And move his arm out of the way here. The thing about now these little ones, the arms move in unison. So what that means is internally, there's a shaft that connects the two arms together, so they move together. Now, our stormtroopers are the snowtroopers. They have the snowtrooper outfit. See that? Now this snowtrooper has the unique feature of having his arms put on backwards. Yes, unfortunately, he was born with his elbows going the other way. And, you know, they felt sorry for him, so they let him into the Empire anyway. And so he's going to have a hard time holding on to our little snow speeder there. So here's our snow speeder, which, as you saw, is hooked into here. So you can hook that snow speeder on there, and then you can roll this up, you know, and then that way you're going to get your snow speeder up into the AT-AT walker while it's down here. You see this? So you have, there's a little area. See, there's a hole in there, a depression, and then you can squish that onto there. All right, and now your snow speeder stays up. And good old backward. Now this stormtrooper over here has his arms going the correct direction. So it's not something inherent to stormtroopers that their arms are backwards. But this fella has backward arms. I mean, what's greater than that? And he can go in there. I mean, it's nice, you know, because just think of the things he can do that you can't because his arms go the opposite direction. So, yeah. So he looks like that when he's on there. All right, so you can go on there. All right, so good old backward arm stormtrooper making a showing here on Toy Talk. All right, and then here's our commander driver. And, you know, you can see they squish in there. It's a soft plastic, so they're squishy. And if you've seen this in the regular scale before, I know I have one somewhere, but it's not worth taking out for this. So, but it looks similar. It looked the same. Did a good job on that. Good paint. All right, so that's our driver. And I love having, you know, the way they have this big door here. So it's like you can, that opens and then you can walk back to the rest of the walker. So, all right. There you go, little people. And look, you have the details inside. And it's a thick plastic here, so you have that detail inside. And then on the inside of this, you have detailing. So look, all the wires and cables. So you run all the power conduits. And you can see all that inside the walls and then in the back. So, all right. Pretty cool. All right. Talk to you soon. Take care. Thanks for watching.